Some months ago I tweeted out that it was weird how in the Alien movies, the Xenomorphs aren't the only aliens humans encountered, but it never really comes up. Now, this might not be controversial to you, but it was to a number of my followers, so I decided to pull together all the evidence and do a video. So in this, I'm hopefully going to prove that humans not only met aliens other than the Xenomorphs, but they probably met other alien races first. Xenomorph skull. Nah, that is kind of a cheat. So now I'll hopefully prove that humans not only met aliens other than the Xenomorphs, but they probably met other alien races first. These motherfuckers. Nah, that's really not fair. No one should have to be reminded that Prometheus exists. I'll limit myself to the original 4 films, because I'm hardcore and that's how I roll. The first and most compelling piece of evidence about this is that at no point in the 4 films does someone see the giant killing machine and scream something along the lines of "Holy shit, aliens exist and they're really good at killing people." It's always variations of "Holy shit, these aliens are really good at killing people." Anyway, if that's not enough, I'll go film by film, mention the evidence, and point out any alternate explanations I can think of, because I'm fair. Right near the start of Alien, after the beacon is discovered, the possibility of it being of alien origin is brought up.
SOS? I don't know.
Human?
Unknown.
No one is bothered by the possibility of alien life, because aliens are already a fact of life. Ash even mentions that their contract states they need to investigate transmissions of possibly intelligent origin.
There is a clause in the contract which specifically states any systematized transmission indicating a possible intelligent origin must be investigated.
Now, you could argue this is a sign that they've not met an intelligent species before, but I disagree. I'd say it's there to encourage first contact situations. Later, when they find the space jockey's ship, there's none of the expected, "Oh my god, aliens exist," that you'd get if humans never met them before. The ship's weird and new, yeah, but it's a mundane kind of weird. As though humans find aliens weird, but they've had interactions with them over the years, so it's no big deal. As Ash autopsies the facehugger, he says this is the first time they've encountered a species like this before.
God's sake, this is the first time that we've encountered a species like this. It has to go back, all sorts of tests have to be made.
Honestly, I could end the video here, but I won't, because I watched all 4 films for this. I noticed the somewhat muted reaction to the discovery of acid blood, beyond the expected worry that it could eat through the hull.
That craft's gonna eat through the hull.
That thing's gonna eat through the goddamn hull, come on!
I'm sorry for sounding like a broken record here, but this is in line with aliens being known, and often a bit weird. Anyway, that's Alien, time for Aliens, which is the biggest part because James Cameron felt like adding a lot of random world building. Let's start near the start with the inquest.
Are there any species like this hostile organism on LV-426?
No, it's a rock. No indigenous life.
We homed in on its beacon
And found something never recorded once in over 300 surveyed worlds.
These lines suggest to me that aliens have been encountered, just nothing like Ripley's describing. Now on to the colonial marines. They say the marines are trained to deal with situations like this.
There's nothing they can't handle.
Lieutenant, am I right?
That's true. We've been trained to deal with situations like this.
If they haven't encountered aliens, then situations like what? Rival human intergalactic organizations? That's a job for the regular military. I'm ignoring everything outside the films for this video. And Aliens strongly suggest that the colonial marines are a separate group who do a separate job from the regular military. And I realise I'm extrapolating based on how marines were sometimes used in the age of exploration, but I think their primary jobs were in protecting colonies from local wildlife and indigenous aliens who didn't want to be colonised. Hudson refers to a mission as another bug hunt.
Is this going to be a stand-up fight, sir, or another bug hunt?
Now this could be akin to a snipe hunt or a wild goose chase, but I think it's a reference to alien wildlife. They kill them so often they have a pithy term for it. We also have a line from Pharaoh.
She's supposed to be some kind of consultant. Apparently, she saw an alien once.
Whoopie fucking do.
Clear evidence that whether aliens have been encountered or not, they're not a big deal. Anyway, we now have the most interesting piece of world building that Cameron threw in like a hand grenade. The Arcturians.
I sure wouldn't mind getting some more of that Arcturian poontang. Remember that time?
Yeah, Prospect, the one that you had was male.
It doesn't matter when it's Arcturian, baby.
Okay, there are 2 main possibilities I can think of for this. 1, the Arcturians are aliens, probably an intelligent species that are oppressed by humans. And 2, and frankly this is much more interesting, Arcturians are a near-androgynous type of human who possibly have their own colony. During the inquest at the start, the biographies of the crew of the Nostromo were flashed up in the background. Probably too small to read even on Blu-ray, but Lambert's biography has been released and she was a Desmond convert. someone born as one sex and converted into the other shortly after birth. I read somewhere that originally Dallas was supposed to be one as well, but I've not seen any evidence of that. As I understand it, Despin converts aren't trans as we'd understand it, but physically indistinguishable from a cis person. Why would they do stuff like this? Well, the future in these films is kind of dehumanizing. I imagine that colonies want to maintain male-female population equilibrium, and to that end they will convert newborns if they have too many one sex or the other. Honestly, this isn't too far off what is done to intersex kids today. Anyway, it's possible that the Arcturians are a colony who, for whatever cultural or religious or fashion reasons, have decided that androgyny is the way to go, and they've come up with their own spin on the Despin process. I wasn't kidding when I said Cameron threw a bunch of world building into aliens. Anyway, back to the film proper, the term xenomorph.
All we know is that there's still no contact with the colony, and that a xenomorph may be involved.
Excuse me, sir. A what?
A xenomorph.
It's a bug hunt.
Xenomorph means strange shape, and it isn't the species name, it's a placeholder name for an unknown alien, kind of like John or Jane Doe, the sort of thing you'd need if you periodically run into unknown alien species. And check out that dropship art, Bug Stompers, we endanger species. Yes you do. And later on, after the attack on the hive, Burke says this.
But let's not make snap judgments, please. This is clearly an important species we're dealing with.
That is not how you'd word that if that was the first alien race ever encountered. Anyway, on to Alien 3, I watched the extended version because why would you watch anything else? Shortly after the burst scene, a prisoner finds a facehugger near Knox. He asks, "What's this?"
What's this?
Instead of freaking out that, holy fuck, this is an alien, almost as though finding alien stuff out in the universe is kind of mundane at this point. Later on, Aaron and the boss don't believe Ripley's story because they've never heard of anything like the alien she's described.
Quite a story, Mr. Aaron.
Right, sir. It's a beauty. Never heard anything quite like it, sir.
Expect not.
But they don't mention it being ridiculous because aliens don't exist. And why? Say it with me. Aliens are kind of mundane in the future. Still later on, just after the lead is dropped, more screams, "I hate bugs." I hate bugs! Which backs up my earlier thought that bug is a generic term for an alien animal that you don't know the name of. Kinda like xenomorph. And finally, on to Alien Resurrection. I watched the director's cut, and it opens with this CGI monstrosity, which is either an alien insect or some sort of altered Earth insect. And later on, Dr. Wren states, matter-of-factly, that they've not encountered anything like this in any world.
Nothing like this we've ever seen on any world before.
Which is kind of neutral in the existence of aliens, but I think it comes down on the side of them existing, just not generally being like the xenomorphs. And that's that. Hopefully I've proved that the chances are humans have encountered more than just a xenomorph in the alien universe. It's mostly kinda circumstantial, but my best evidence still stands. No one is ever shocked that aliens exist. They're all just shocked at how good they are at killing. Anyway, I have an idea for a video about how I think the Colonial Marines operate. Again, ignoring comics, games, and books. If you'd be interested in hearing about that.